Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Skyscape TCG. Now, in this episode, I will be explaining character and void summons. Now, as I explained in the previous episode, both character and void summons exist in their own separate summon deck. Now, a summon deck will consist of a maximum of 15 cards. Now, you can only have one copy of the same card in your 15-card summon deck. But the main question that is on everyone's mind as of now is, how do we get out these awesome cards? Well, in order to summon this card, the Legendary Knight, one must first have on their field Sword of the Legendary Knight, as well as Engraved Heater Shield. Now, you will need a Void Summon card or another character summon card in order for this to work, because as you can see, they are both two-handed. Or you can activate the awesome effect of this card, where it says if you control an Engraved Heater Shield, while this card is in your hand, the maximum carrying capacity you can have is 4. And normally it's only 2. But in this case, 2 plus 2, 4. So you can have both of these out, but in order to get this guy out, you're going to need a special arcane. And this arcane is a response, and it's called Summon the Legendary Knight. And its effect, you can summon the Legendary Knight from your summon deck, then attach an Engraved Heater Shield and a Sword of the Legendary Knight that you control to the summon card. So, in order for the effect of this to work out, you will need both of these cards on your field already. So, you summon this big boy, and an awesome note about these count as separate players. They're on your side, they're your allies, yes, but they count as separate players. So what you would do is you would attach both of these cards to this card, meaning that this can attack for a combined attack power of 7, because 4 plus 3, or a combined defense power of 6, because 3 plus 3. Now, character cards have compatibilities, which are right here. Iron and Order. And if you remember anything from my last video, these different symbols are extremely important. Well, Order is on this as well as Iron, meaning that as long as you have this card out, the only cards that you can play are Order or Iron. Now, I made this as a way to balance decks, as well as giving archetypes to specific character summons. Now, if you were to play something other than an Order or an Iron type card, let's say for example Rage or Alchemy, you would have to take this card and put it back into your summon deck. Because I figure that compatibilities would be like you gaining allies, and in a lore sense, if you do something to betray them, aka using a different type, they will betray you and they will leave you until you can gain their trust again. So that's the basic rundown of character cards. Oh, also, this is the attack and defense of the card, known as the rune counters. And for the good old awesome void cards, we have, for this example, the Dark Trader, with a rune counter of 2, and to summon this card, we're going to need the stagnant arcane called Contract with Darkness. In order to play this card, you must discard 2 cards from your hand at random, and you can summon this from your summon deck and then draw 1 card. So, I would need 2 cards in my hand, and I would need to shuffle them around and lay them face down and discard them at random into my severed pile. And I get this guy out. And I could put a weapon card down to attack with it, or a shield, and in this example, both of these guys are one-handed. So I could attack for 4, or I could block for 4. Now, attacking and blocking is the exact same as it is without a void or character summon card, except the damage that would be dealt to you is instead dealt to your void or your character summon. So if I have a weapon that has 4 fatality, and it's attacking at this, and I can block, I will be able to block this, and 2 will go out, 2 damage will be dealt to the Dark Trader, meaning that this would be severed, and it would go into your severed pile, not back into your summon deck. So, that's pretty much the basic rundown for Void and character summons. Now, I'm going to show you guys this very cool card that I have, and that is one of these 6 future god cards. They're not quite gods yet, but this is Adriel, Bringer of the End. I really like her card design, and these have some pretty awesome effects. You can pause the video right here and you can read the effects for yourself, but the main effect is the bottom effect here. If this card would be severed at all by battle, by card effect, put it into your, I know this is Void deck, but summon deck instead. Any cards that are attached to this are instead returned to their owner's hands. So if I have this guy out, and I have this down, and this down, and he'd be she'd be severed, I would get both these guys back into my hand, and I'd put her back into my summon deck. So that's pretty cool. And to get her out, you need this awesome Arcane card. It's a stagnant, and it costs a whopping 8 points, but you get to summon an Adriel, Bringer of the End, from your summon deck, and if a card in your hand or on your field was put into your severed pile this turn, you may put another card from your severed pile onto this card by paying its life cost. So if you have something like this in your severed pile, you can get it out, and you can attach it to your Adriel. So these are pretty cool. And in the future, I will go out to explain all the god cards and how they work, and maybe even some more of it. You should leave a comment in this video of what you'd like to see next. And that's it for this episode. I hope you liked my explanation of Void and character summon cards. And yes, this is it. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Have a nice day.